here's the truth about app marketing costs that companies don't want you to know. Forget those vague estimates you see online, as today we are diving deep into the real nitty-gritty expenses of launching and growing your app, especially if you're a startup. Because let's be honest, those hidden costs, they can absolutely wreck your budget if you're not prepared. So grab a notepad because this is going to be packed with actionable insights. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're building an app, you're probably wondering how much is this really going to cost? And it's a great question because just building an app isn't enough. You need to get in front of people. That's where app marketing comes in. But where do you even start with budgeting and how to avoid those sneaky expenses that pop up later? That's what we are tackling today, and we'll break down the major cost categories, reveal some hidden expenses, and give you strategies that you can implement right away, even if you're on a shoestring budget. And we'll also talk about when it makes sense to hire freelancers or agencies and how much that will set you back. We will first discuss the major categories, the strategies within them, and then break down the cost of each one. Towards the end, we'll also cover the pros and cons of going the DIY route versus hiring freelancers or agencies. So be sure to stick around till the end. First up, let's talk about pre-launch. This is where a lot of people skip steps and ends up costing them later. You need to validate your idea, understand your target audience, and build some buzz before you even launch. Number one is market research. Think of this as your detective work. You're trying to figure out who your competitors are, what your potential users are looking for, and what makes your app special. Things like user surveys and checking out what other apps are doing are super helpful. Tools like SurveyMonkey or Google Forms can make this way easier. And if you're going into a really crowded market, you might want to bring in pros to help you out. Take Duolingo for instance. They didn't just guess that people wanted to learn languages, they saw that traditional language learning was expensive and kind of boring. So they made something free and fun. They did their homework. Number two is pre-launch landing page and email list. This is where you start building their hype. You create a simple web page that tells people about your app and let them sign up and get notified when it launches. It's like building your little fan club. Tools like MailChimp or ConvertKit make this pretty straightforward. Remember Robinhood app? Before they even launched, they had this landing page where people could sign up for a waitlist. It made everyone feel like you're getting exclusive access, and it built a lot of buzz. Number three is PR and influencer outreach. Even before you launch, you start getting the word out. Reach out to journalists and people who are popular in your app's niche. It's like getting your friends to tell their friends about your party. Clubhouse got a lot of its early traction by giving early access to influential people and doing the right PR. Now let's talk about the cost of all this. Number one is DIY, do it yourself. So for market research, you're probably looking at around $100 to $1,000+ depending on how deep you want to go. A landing page and email list would run you about $50 to $200 a month. And for initial PR and influencer outreach, you could spend anywhere from $0 to $500 depending on how you approach it. On the freelancer side, if you bring in a freelancer to help with the market research, expect to pay somewhere between $500 to $2,000 per project. And the agencies, you're looking at a bit more, probably around $1,500 to $5,000 per project. All right, let's chat about the category number two, which is ASO or App Store Optimization. Basically, this is how you make your app easier to find in the app stores. Think of it like this. If you have a store, you want to put up signs and make sure it's easy for people to see, right? That's what ASO does for your app. And here's the thing, ASO isn't a set it and forget it kind of a deal. It's something you've got to keep working on. Why? Well, app stores are always changing their rules and competitors are always trying to get their app ahead, and people's search habits are changing too. So you need to keep your app optimized to stay visible, and here's what that looks like. Number one is keyword research. You've got to figure out what words people are actually typing in and what they're looking for when they're searching for an app like yours. Number two is app title and description. You need to make sure your app title and description are clear and catchy and full of those keywords we just talked about. This is your chance to tell people what your app is all about and all it does. Number three is icons and screenshots, because first impressions matter. Your icon and screenshot need to look good and show people what your app can do. Just look at Spotify. Their icon is super recognizable and their screenshots show off all the cool features. They get it. Now let's talk about the cost of making all this happen. Number one is the DIY route. If you're going to do it for yourself, you probably need some ASO tools which could run you anywhere from $20 to $200 a month, plus all the time you will be putting in. Number two is freelancers. If you hire one, they might charge you anywhere from $25 to $100 an hour or $500 to $3,000 plus per project. It really depends on their experience and what you need them to do. If you go with an agency, you're looking at a bigger investment, probably somewhere between $2,000 to $10,000 a month, but they'll handle everything for you. If you're finding find this breakdown helpful and you want to see more content like this, consider hitting the like button. It helps me know what you guys find valuable. And if you're really serious about app marketing and need help, we at AppsTech have a team of experts that can handle everything from ASO to paid advertising. We've helped numerous startups get their apps noticed, and we would love to help you too. Okay, let's get into the third category, which is paid user acquisition. This is where honestly you're probably going to see a big chunk of your budget go. Think of this as the engine that drives those initial downloads. You've got a great app, but now you need to get it in front of people, right? Here's how. Number one is app install ads, Apple search ads, Google app campaigns, and social media ads. This is your bread and butter. You're basically paying to put your app in front of potential users. Think of it like this. When someone searches for a fitness app on the App Store, you want yours to pop up right at the top. Or when they're scrolling through Instagram, you want your ad to catch their eye. You know how TikTok just seems to know what you're interested in? They've really nailed those social media app install ads using super engaging video content to grab attention and drive downloads. Number two is influencer marketing, and this is where you partner with people who already have an audience. You're leveraging their credibility and reach to promote your app. Imagine a popular tech YouTuber showing off your app's cool features to their followers. Number three is affiliate marketing, and this is where you work with other websites or individuals to promote your app and get a commission for each download that they drive. It's like having an army of salespeople out there working for you. Now let's talk about the money side of things. If you're doing it yourself, you're looking at your ad spend, of course, plus all the time you're putting in. And trust me, it's a lot of time. If you bring in a freelancer, you're probably looking at anywhere from $20 to $80 an hour or $500 to $2,500 a month plus the ad spend again. It really depends on the freelancer's experience and what you need them to do. If you go with an agency, you're looking at a bigger investment, somewhere between $3,000 to $15,000 a month plus your ad spend. But remember, you're getting a whole team of experts working on your campaigns. Alright, so you've got people downloading your app. That's awesome. But here's the thing, getting them to download is just the start. You need to keep them coming back for more and keep them engaged. And that's where category number 4, user retention and engagement, comes in. It's like you don't just invite people to a party and then ignore them, right? You want them to have a good time and stick around. So number 1 is push notification. Those are the little messages that pop up on your phone. Think of them as friendly reminders to open your app. You want them to be timely and relevant and not annoying. Number 2 is in-app messaging, and this is where you send personalized messages and offers to users while they're actually using the app. It's like having a conversation with them right there and then. Next is email marketing. You can send out newsletters and updates to keep users informed about new features or promotions. It's a great way to stay top of mind. Next is in-app events and contests, and this is where you can get creative and create fun experiences within your app to keep users hooked. For example, you see this a lot in the gaming apps. They have a daily or weekly challenge and rewards to keep players coming back for more. Now let's talk about how much is this going to cost you. If you're handling this yourself, you probably need some tools for push notifications and email marketing, which could run you anywhere from $50 to $200 a month. Plus, of course, all the time you'll be investing. Hiring a freelancer for this can vary a lot depending on the specific tasks you need them to do. It really depends on what you're looking to get done. And if you're looking to work with an agency, user retention and engagement are often included in their full service package, which typically ranges from $3,000 to $8,000 or more per month. Alright, let's talk about those sneaky little things that can really add up the hidden cost. These are the expenses that often get brushed under the rug, but trust me, they can bite you if you're not careful. Number 1 is paid advertising. So you set your ad budget, right? But then you realize you need to do some A/B testing to see what ads work best, or you want to retarget people who visited your app page, or you want to tweak your bids to stay competitive. All of that adds up. So if you're working with a freelancer or an agency, you've got to ask about their ad testing strategy, how much retargeting costs, and how they keep an eye on your ad budget to avoid overspending. Next is ASO tools. Keeping your app store listing optimized isn't just a one-time thing. You need to keep doing keyword research and tweaking your metadata. And that often means paying for tools and expert help. Make sure you clarify whether those ASO tools are included in their service fee or if you'll have to pay them separately. And then you have content creation fee. You want your app to look good, right? That means high quality graphics, videos, and maybe even blog posts. Talk about how many content pieces are included and what their revision policy is, and if there are any extra costs for additional assets. And then you have social media management, which is inclusive of scheduling posts, working with influencers, and running giveaways. It all adds up. There are scheduling tools cost, influencer fee, and costs of giveaways themselves. Make sure you confirm what all is covered and what will you pay extra for. Then you have media outreach and PR, getting your app noticed by the press release and working with influencers can be a great way to get the word out, but PR and influencer partnerships all have extra costs. Ask if PR distribution and influencer fees are included or if they'll be billed separately. It's better to have clarity before you begin working with them. Then you have softwares and subscriptions. All of those marketing tools, analytical platforms, and email automation services have recurring fee. Double check if your agency provides any access to premium tools or if you need to buy your own subscriptions. Now let's talk about something incredibly important, which is budget allocation strategy. Knowing where to spend your money is just as critical as knowing how much you have. So the number one is 70-20-10 rule, which means that 70% of your budget goes to proven strategies, 20% of your budget goes to innovative strategies, and 10% goes to experimental strategies. This helps you balance stability and innovation. Just as an example, let's say 70% of your budget on app install ads, 20% on new creatives and new social media, and 10% on challenges and giveaways. Number two is to prioritize based on goals. Know that what are your primary goals? Is it downloads, user engagement, or revenue? Allocate more funds to the areas that directly impact your goals. For a new app, initial budget should focus on ASO and paid user acquisition to gain that initial traction. And another approach is phased approach. Don't blow your entire budget at once. Start with a smaller budget and scale up as you see results. Begin with A/B testing on smaller ad campaigns to see what works before a large scale rollout. Another strategy is to always allocate for unexpected cost. Always set aside a portion of your budget for unexpected expenses. A good rule of thumb is to keep 10 to 20% of your budget as a contingency. All right, let's take an example and talk about putting that budget to work. Say you've got $10,000 a budget to spend on getting your app out there. If your main goal is to get as many downloads as possible, here's one way you could break it down, focusing on what really drives those downloads. You could adopt a performance-driven paid ads focus, allocating 70% to ads, 30% to organic and optimization. This means you would put the majority of your money, let's say around $7,000, to paid user acquisition on platforms like Meta, Google, TikTok, and Apple search ads. Then you might allocate $1,000 to App Store optimization to make sure that your app shows up when people are searching for apps like yours in the App Store. Another $1,000 could go to influencer marketing, specifically targeting micro-influencers and UGC, user-generated content. For social media and content creations, you could allocate $500 to $1,000, and this is about keeping your social media presence active and creating engaging content. Finally, you might set aside $500 for analytics and A/B testing. This is crucial for tracking how your campaigns are doing and testing different ad creatives and strategies to ensure that you're not wasting money. Remember, this is just one example, and your perfect ad budget split will depend on your specific goals, what's unique about your app, and your audience. The most important thing is to stay flexible and keep an eye on the data, and be ready to adjust your strategy as you learn what works best. All right, so we've talked a lot about costs and budget allocation, and now let's break down the pros and cons of doing it yourself, hiring freelancer, or going with an agency. Basically, which route makes most sense for you. First up is DIY. It is the most budget-friendly option, especially if you're just starting out. You get full control over every aspect of your marketing, and you learn a ton along the way, which can be super valuable. And then you have cons. It's incredibly time-consuming. You need to have pretty wide range of skills, from market research to ad management, and then you might make very costly mistakes if you don't have enough experience. Then you have freelancers. So the pros would be they're generally more affordable than agencies. You can find specialists for specific tasks like ASO or ad campaigns, and you get more direct communication and potentially faster turnaround times. The cons would be that you'll need to manage them yourself, which takes a lot of time. The quality can be a bit of a gamble. You need to vet them very carefully, and they might not have the same resources or scalability as an agency. And then you have the agency. They offer comprehensive services and expertise. You get a dedicated team working on your app's marketing, and they typically provide detailed reporting. Cons would be they can be a bit expensive, and then you might get less attention if you don't have a direct communication channel with your project manager. And third would be the onboarding process can sometimes take more time because they already have some projects that they work on. Basically, if you're on a super tight budget and have the time and skills, DIY might be the way to go for you. If you need specific expertise and want to save money, freelancer can be a good option. But if you want the full service solution and have the budget, an agency can be a game changer. Okay, so to bring it all together, let's talk about the potential cost range for app marketing. Keep in mind that these are broad figures, and your actual costs will vary significantly based on your specific needs, app category, and marketing strategy. For a basic DIY approach, you might be looking at a few hundred to a couple $1,000s per month, primarily for tools and ad spend a lot of your time. If you're hiring freelancers for specific tasks, that could range from a few thousand to tens of thousands of dollars per project or a monthly retainer. For a full service agency, you should budget anywhere between $3,000 to $20,000 per month, depending on what all is included. It's important to remember that your app marketing is an ongoing investment. So there you have it, a comprehensive breakdown of app marketing costs. Remember, it's about investing strategically and focusing on what delivers the best results for your app. Don't be afraid to experiment and adjust your budget as you go. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, and please make sure that you subscribe if you would like to stay up to date with the latest app marketing strategies and tips. And by the way, if you're feeling overwhelmed or if you want to take your app marketing to the next level, reach out to us at appstech.com. We can help you create a custom marketing plan that fits your budget and goals. We are passionate about helping startups succeed, and we would love to be a part of your journey. Thanks for watching. My name is Arsh Singh, and I'll see you in the next video.